Mr. N.K. Singh, more than 2 weeks after the budget, we still see ripples over that whole decision by the government on the retrospective tax application to Vodafone and potentially many other companies. We've seen today the UK Chancellor of the Exchequer bringing it up with Pranab Mukherjee, a letter from global company CEOs to the finance minister as well. Do you think the government must amend this, or is it now too late? What really is the government's way forward on this? What would you recommend?
Well, you know, I think that government always has an intrinsic right to amend what it has proposed, because the finance bill has not yet been enacted. It will only be enacted after the break, sometime around the middle of May. So technically, government always has the option of amending proposals to the finance bill, and this has been a past practice always. But I think the more fundamental issue is, Sonia, we need to appreciate three things. Yes. First, this is neither the first time in India, nor perhaps the last time in India, that tax laws would be changed retrospectively. We mustn't also forget that out of 25 retrospective amendments this year, 17 of them are favorable to taxpayers. In fact, the successive Supreme Court judgments, not only the recent Vodafone judgment, but earlier judgments, for instance, relating to the famous Lohia machine case in 1980, yes. In which Justice Sen had a dissenting note, and others have upheld the legislature's right to amend the tax laws retrospectively. It has also happened internationally, because in the case of United Kingdom itself, the famous Padmore case of 1980, in which Section 9 was amended retrospectively. So the first thing is that retrospective amendments in themselves intrinsically are neither right or wrong. It depends on the circumstances.
You've spoken like a former financial top bureaucrat there.
No, I'm coming to the next point.
Yes.
That all tax laws at the end of the day need to balance between two very conflicting propositions. First, clearly, governments need to garner revenue and to prevent really people from making arrangements in terms of commercial structures which would deny government its legitimate revenue. Right. At the same time, continuing to make India an investment destination which is attractive for investors to put in resources here and for India to gain the benefits of that for its economic growth. I think these are always the conflicting areas where a balancing act is always needed.
Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, if you could come in here. We've seen corporate India globally. We've seen international business. And of course, we've seen the Goldman Sachs CEO, who has actually met top political leaders here as well, saying that this retrospective amendment was unbelievable. Mr. N.K. Singh says, well, at the end of the day, the government does have the right to make money, to gather revenue, and it needs to be, but it has to balance it with the needs of India as an investment destination. Do you think that balance is completely askew in this case?
You know, first and foremost, Sonia, this is a retrospective effect that is extending almost beyond 50 years, that century. So I think one thing we must look at in India is that the whole credibility issue in India is about having clarity around any legislation. And I think that's what I think everyone is asking for, saying we want clarity. No one denies India the sovereign right to legislate or to amend legislation. In this case, I think there is a real concern about this retrospective, proposal of, dealing with the legislation, which I think is unacceptable, and that too going to a period of 50 years and beyond. But secondly, I think the most important thing is we need to get subjectivity out of any legislation. There has to be clarity in what we are legislating. Corruption, case-by-case kind of, dealing with issues. And this is something in this day and age we have to go beyond. India has to be a credible investment destination, a preferred investment destination. And the only way we can do that is to come up with credible legislation where we don't have to keep going back to the law and enacting it once again. The SEZ law, which was enacted a few years ago, and then there was an anomaly in one of the clauses, and
Yes.
then, corporate India had to sort of lobby with the government, and then in that case they went and did it prospectively, and then we had to basically ask them to legislate it retrospectively. So N.K. Singh is absolutely right that this is not the first time we are doing it in a retrospective manner, and nobody is questioning that if it is done for the right reasons.
Do you have the NDTV Profit app? All the markets, all the news and your own homemade, ready-made portfolio available there for you.
We will right now answer what you should sell, what you should buy when markets are down.
Download at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Get the best app from the channel you trust.